Hey there, people. You wouldn't believe the amount of effort I had to go through just to get a chance to record. Brace yourself because I'm about to do something I didn't think I'd ever do. I'm going to try doing a best of Nexus for the recent past. Not just Nexus, off Nexus also. I figured I needed to make something other than my well-told high fantasy let's play that is essentially just me playing with my action figures. I want to highlight what looks really cool to me, which will almost never be graphical mods unless it's really easy to install, all-encompassing, or just looks fantastic. Anyway, let's dive in. Skygerfall Addons. Back in 2021 in my pre-Let's Play era, I played Skygerfall. I thought it was good, trying to add Daggerfall's main quest as a prequel to your character coming to Skyrim. But I thought it needed something. You know, like not being a flat barren field occasionally dotted with really cool labyrinthine dungeons. And while it had a story, I think it needed more. This mod seeks to add new creatures, quest sounds, music, battles, spells, and weapons. According to the mod author, the whole map is filled with all kinds of stuff to do. I've walked around a bit and found at least some cool new landscape, and I got attacked by wolves. I'll be saving this to play for later. Echoes of the Vale. You know all those memes where it's the game you love and that part. That part for Skyrim for me has always been the Forgotten Vale. I enjoyed most of the Dawnguard DLC, but hated the huge annoying world space where the quest markers don't entirely work. You just had to wander around for a couple hours and try and figure out where it is you're trying to go. Well, this creation doubles the size of the Forgotten Vale, and it also uncouples it from the Dawnguard questline. So you can explore it anytime. In total, it has 23 new areas without new quests or actors. Maybe a mini Chanterelle. Maybe if I snag it before I get back to doing Dawnguard again, I'll enjoy it for once. I'll be honest, it would be a huge hassle to upgrade back to AE and destroy my load order to get this, but I have a workaround I'm going to try to attempt in a while. Daegon Legacy. So you've all heard the story about Daegon, right? Mod author releases a well-made follower mod, gives enough time for the community to fall in love with her, then releases an update that completely changes the mod, complete with lore-unfriendly story, makes you into a third wheel, and gets rid of the old version. People get extremely mad about it, and here's the end of the story. The mod author re-released the original Daegon under the name Daegon Legacy. As somebody who never got a chance to play the original before it was snatched away from the Nexus, I'm going to give it a try.
Over 2,000 voice lines. I will see if it lives up to the hype.
We'll see how she gets along with Nyreen. SKSE File Cleaner. Here's a more technical one. SKSE File Cleaner is a utility that automates deleting SKSE leftover files from your old save files. I recently cleared up about 7 gigs of SSD space between this and delete orphan save files. Neat little utility. Stacks of Septims. Okay, here's one by W. Skeever. Stacks of Septims. Graphical, but lightweight and easy to incorporate. And Xtudo already made a bunch of add-ons for it. Your stacks of gold never looked so good. Custom Console. A nearly unknown mod that allows you to create your own console commands. Currently there's only one mod that adds new commands, but keep an eye on it. I feel like this might be a good first mod for somebody. Spell Hotbar. It was on GitHub for a while, but now it's finally on Nexus. Adds an MMO style hotbar for Skyrim. You can use shouts, spells, and powers in up to 12 slots. These spells are script casted even while you've got weapons in your hands. You can change the animations with or dar. You know what this means though. With this auto run being natively in Skyrim and now that auto follow mod, Simplicity of Stalking, you can get the full MMO experience in Skyrim. Should I add in loot boxes and login bonuses? Deanna Garcia, mod author of Katana, has been hard at work on updates to the Katana mod. You may have felt like Katana and Megara's story wasn't over after the questline. Well, the next big update will be adding an entirely new character with a new storyline, Shale. He's a rogue, he's charismatic, he's also from another land, like the ladies, and Katana's story will continue. I auditioned to voice him, but well, I don't exactly have a lot of range. Anymore, that is. My kids used to love my funny voices when they were little. I think she's looking for playtesters. Rigmor of Cyrodiil is getting a sequel. Time TBD, but Rigmor of Tamriel will have Rigmor of Cyrodiil as a requirement. Interesting news though. Patreon followers got a surprise during this holiday season. A new updated work-in-progress version of Rigmor of Cyrodiil that adds the towns
Anvil, Kvatch, and Leowin.
I'll be covering this more in depth later in my next project. I keep teasing, but never get around to. Pandora. Okay, this one is revolutionary. It entirely replaces Finis and Nemesis, so you can throw that old video in the garbage. Best part is, it does it much faster than either one. With my working 80 hours a week and not really wanting to throw the rest of my character save games in the garbage, I haven't switched over. But I've been hearing great things so far. It's on GitHub, not on Nexus yet. You know, way back when I started on YouTube nearly 2 years ago, I created one of the most ambitious gameplay videos detailing Dastana and family flying an airship in Valenwood and then Somerset and then swooping in through like a hurricane? Well, the author of those two mods has just finished a preview mod for his new work, Assault on Elswyer. Like Beyond Skyrim Bruma, it focuses on the struggle of a single city and the surrounding areas, Orcrest. And I'm going to play it. And if you're watching this, Blackfist, I'm sorry I haven't gotten around to it yet. I happened upon this mod recently. It's called Ultra Enemy. I'm a big fan of adding big, challenging threats around Skyrim to make it a little more, you know, spicy. Mention for a taco who has a whole line of mods like this. Ultra Enemy is kind of a vehicle for an older mod, Ultra Weapons for Skyrim. It gives world bosses these huge Souls-inspired Ultra Weapons. The old mod adds the weapons to the world via spit and crafting, and Ultra Enemy gives the bosses the unique versions. Way stronger, more dangerous. And honestly, I'm inspired to do a little Let's Play related to this. After all, these weapons are stronger than friggin' Stendarr's hammer without the optional add-on to tone them down. So I got the mod to tone them down. But you gotta wonder, who is making all these giant weapons? If I continue with this series and don't completely give up on this YouTube thing in general, I'm going to have a segment at the end called Old Gems. My goal is to highlight one mod that didn't get the attention I think it deserved. Sometimes I find these mods via opening the Requirements tab on a new mod and saying, "Wow, what is that?" I did just this with Ultra Weapons. Obviously from Ultra Enemies. And one more thing I'm excited about before I go. The author of East Empire Creation, Kinggath, one of the best ones so far, is making a Bard College creation. I'm hoping it's on par with Skyrim's native guild quest lines. Granted, that is a very low bar. Now, since I mentioned a big project, aside from my many-part super cinematic Back in Time series,
And that is all the huge projects for Skyrim more in depth.
some highlights include Beyond Skyrim, Sky Oblivion, Skywind, and Rigmor of Tamriel. You've probably heard of all those. But have you heard of Lordbound, Shezarene, Apotheosis, Skyrus, Project Darkpoint? I'm sure at least one of those piques somebody's interest. This will likely be a multi-part series because there are a lot of these. And shoutouts to the projects that didn't make it this far. So long, and thanks for watching.